And we're live. Hey everyone, and welcome to the Firehose Project Info Session. I'm Marco, I'm the CEO, and one of the code mentors here as well at the Firehose Project, and I'll run you through our full program today. Before I dive in, know that I will answer questions at the end of the info session. So if you have any questions about the full program, intro course, whatever it is, feel free to either put it in one of the chat boxes next to me or email me. All of you guys should have received an invitation to this. If you're just hopping straight over coding with us from our intro program, then just reach out, email, or use the chat boxes next to me, and I'll check those. Now, what are we going to cover in the info session here? First of all, I want to talk about why are we doing web development, why we're doing software engineering, what's the demand for developers out there, and does it even make sense to go in this technical field? Then I'll talk a little bit about what happens in the intro course, why people are coding with us there, what we're doing in there, how we're teaching you how to build a portfolio page and already getting you on the path. And then I'll talk about the full program, right? I want to cover everything from the web applications that we're building, talk about them in detail. I want to talk about the algorithms and the data structures that we're going to do and how these two paths that we have in Yawn merge together once we start our agile team project, when we go into real world coding and actually work the same way as people do, that teams of developers and software engineers do in the real world. And then I'm also going to talk about the whole career support that we've set up here at the Firehose Project to make sure that if one of your goals is to transition into a technical field, into software web development career, that we get you there. At the end, I answer you guys' questions. Now, let's jump straight in and get started. First of all, why are we doing this, right? Why software engineering? And why web development? I think there's two main reasons for this. And the first one is that this is an extremely in-demand field, right? If we're just looking at statistics across the US alone, there's hundreds of thousands of open positions right now for people with technical skills, web development, software engineering, and so forth. So being on something that is this in demand right now is a really good position to be in and having those skills. And now also this field is growing, right? If we're looking at what's happening in the world, literally there's this saying, software is eating the world. And that's true. If we're looking about how companies like Lyft, Uber, and Airbnb change how we're using technology every single day. And all these tools, all these products are built by engineers, by web developers and software engineers at the core. And being at the core is exactly why this is such a great place to be, and learning that is because it's an extremely fulfilling profession as well. Building these tools that change how society, how people work together or organize or commute or go about to see different places, right? Or all the way to like colonizing Mars, if we're thinking about who's writing the control code for a rocket launch. These are engineers as well, right? And that's why this is not only an extremely in-demand profession, but it's also a really fulfilling profession because we can change a lot of people's lives at scale. And no other time in history of humanity could we have done it this easily than right now with the internet. So knowing how owning that sector is crucial to any kind of career, and riding that wave of growth that we're seeing in software engineering, web development is pretty spectacular, and being on that wave is a pretty good ride. That's why we're teaching that. That's why we're focusing it. That's why we're building the community of the Firehose Project and working hard every single day. Now, what's going to happen in the Firehose Project, right? So the first thing that we're going to do is we go run you through our prep course, right? There's an introduction to coding. We build a portfolio page so you can already present yourself on the internet. We put that up on your own server so you can already show it off. We also have you build several Ruby scripts that do simple things, and that's a good introduction to the Ruby programming language. And throughout that whole process in our bootcamp prep, we have you submit the challenges and actually get them reviewed, and then we give you feedback on them. And once you pass all our challenges, we accept you into the full program. And at that point, you can choose a starting date and start coding with us in the full program. Now, a lot of you who are watching right now, you're already coding on intro course, so that's like old news, right? Thumbs up to you. Keep coding on intro course. It's awesome what you're doing in there. Stay engaged and keep going through, and it's worth it. And then at the end, hopefully we can accept you so you have your code with us in the full program. Now, what are we going to do in the full program, right? As I mentioned in the beginning, we kind of have these two paths that merge together at the end. So first, I'm going to talk about all the web applications that you will be building in a full program, and then I'm going to talk a little bit about the algorithms and the data structures, and then I'll talk about the agile team projects when we get to that. Algorithms and data structures second. First, let's dive into web applications. What we have you build first is a kind of quotes generator. It's a pretty simple app. Taking a quote, we're saving it through a form in a database and randomly pulling it out and displaying it on the homepage. It's pretty much, we put an about page on it as well, but it's a pretty simple application. Takes students about 3-4 days, maybe 5 days to build, but it gives a really good overview over the Ruby programming language, the Rails framework, how to push something live on a server, how to use version control, GitHub, and how the whole architecture of the web application, how all these moving pieces fit together. That's the overview that we're getting in that first application. Then we move on to the next one and go one step up. And then we're building a geolocation specific application. Think about it as a Yelp clone, right? Anything that we can have pins on maps goes there. And this is where our students really start customizing the apps already, because they gained a lot of skills from the first app already. So we've seen anything from mapping the favorite climbing spots in the US to the best kid-friendly playgrounds in London. What else did we see? The cool meditation spots in New York City, a bustling big city, down to we used best pizza places that we liked in Boston. Anything goes here, right? And that's where your own creativity comes in to make that app your own. So inside of that app, we build a lot of features, right? So obviously we need to have the mapping features. So if a user gives us an address, we translate that address into latitude and longitude coordinates, pass that into the Google Map API, and get a pin on the map. Then we obviously need more, right? We need to get user ratings, star ratings on these places. We want to have commenting features. We want to have automated email notifications. So if somebody comes to a climbing spot or a pizza spot and says, man, their slices are awesome, right? We want to get a notification. Hey, somebody just gave you a rating. You should check in, come back to the platform and do more user engagement there. We obviously do user registration, log in, log out, all these functionalities we build as well, and we wrap that into mobile-friendly design so it looks good not only on your desktop but also on your tablet and your mobile. That's the second app we're building. And we're going a step further and build another app, which is a two-sided marketplace. And when I say two-sided marketplace, what we're building here is instructors on one side and students on the other side. Students can come, they can choose courses that instructors build on the platform, and they can purchase them. And when I say purchase, that's a key word, right? We need to have credit card and debit card payment capabilities on our platform. So what we're going to do is integrate with the Stripe API, yet another API, to process payments directly on our platform. And then what we also need to do is go really deep in the database, make sure we have all our relationships in our database tables modeled properly so everything works, right? If you're thinking about it, you have a lot of instructors, they have different courses. We need to keep track of this. You have different students signing up. Some students purchase a course, other students don't. Who has access to which course? Who can only see a preview? And how does the money flow through the platform? How much do we get as a platform owner versus the instructor? And we need to keep track of all of that, make sure that's proper. And that's what we do with our database relationships in that application, building out a two-sided marketplace. Obviously, we make that look good again on mobile, and we do user registration, and we integrate with a few other APIs to especially make video streaming possible. But that's the essence of that application. Now we're going to go another step, and we introduce a bit more real-world coding here, and that is like test-driven development, right? Zooming out a little bit, as developers, we always want to write automated tests to make sure that our features are working and they're not broken. That's the industry standard, best practice, and every team out there writes tests for their 98% of them write tests for their web application. So you should know how to do that as well. And we're building an entire web application using test-driven development and teaching you how to not only use those tools, but how to implement that, and then even implement it retroactively to all the other apps that you've just built with us, right? The two-sided marketplace, the quotes generator, the Yelp clone. After that, we've done a lot of Ruby, we've done a lot of Rails. We're diving into JavaScript, and we're having you build a complete application with nothing but JavaScript. And that's really meant to get a really good grip on JavaScript as your second programming language, where you build an entire application with nothing but JavaScript. And then we also show you how to integrate JavaScript into existing applications to improve the user interface and the user experience within those applications, right? We have a Ruby on Rails app and we add JavaScript on top to make it even more user-friendly. Now, these are all the web applications that we're building on one side. And the other path that we have you do in parallel to building the web applications, we're going to teach you algorithms, right? We're starting as simple as a continuation of what we do in an intro course when we have you do rather simple scripts of like converting temperatures, right? We're going to go with that and keep writing pure Ruby code. And that's really meant to help you understand and solve more and more advanced challenges and problems that will come up in the real world. And we're going all the way to sorting and search algorithms, stuff that is used every single day when you build more advanced web applications out there. Now, these two tracks are going to kind of merge together into our Agile team project. So we have a lot of Ruby, JavaScript, and Rails knowledge, and we're going to apply it all in the Agile team project. So what is the Agile team project, right? On an organizational level, we match you together with 4 or 5 other students. You get a technical lead, a senior web developer mentor on top of your one-on-one mentor that you're already having, that will run that team the same way they would run a technical team, a project team at their work, at their company where they're working. And then what we're building together is a chess game. Now, a lot of people tell me, oh, come on, Mark, a chess game, that's not that exciting. But when we reached out to technical recruiters, to VP of engineers and CTOs and asked them, what would impress you if a candidate who's looking for a job comes through the door and they told you they built X, right? When we suggested a chess game, everyone's like, that's really intriguing because it's so hard to pull off. Just think about it, how many rules there are in chess to enforce, right? How do you automatically check for checkmate? That's a conversation you can have in a technical interview that will definitely impress the hiring manager or the VP of engineering or the CTO, because there's so many decisions that you need to make, how to implement that, and how do you write that in code, right? How do you make sure all the moves are valid, pieces move? How do you maybe integrate a feature that checks on time so you can play speed chess? How do you do that, right? There are tons of questions, tons of decisions, and that's exactly what's mirrored in the real world is how do you make those decisions and which decisions are you making and for what reasons, and how do you implement that into code? And on top of that, it's on a team, right? So there's a saying that goes, the best products in the world are built by amazing teams. And we want you to be part of that team while still in the program so that you can hit the ground running and be a high impact employee from day one on any technical team. So that means if I have to make a decision as a technical hire manager, VP of engineering, and I have multiple candidates out there, but I know one person already knows how to work together with a team and can integrate themselves easily in my workflow, my technical workflow, that's the person that has a huge leg up, and that comes out really clearly in any technical interview, also during the application process, because I can see the code that he built, and I can tell this was built by somebody by themselves, potentially following lessons, versus this was built not following lessons, and the workflow that we're doing. Now, what is that workflow, right? It's an agile workflow where we have weekly sprints where we look at all the features that we need to build this week and we assign them to each other, and then we build them, pair program with other people, ship them live, put them out there, get a code review before we ship them live, make sure all our tests are passing, right? Think back to the automated tests. The test-driven development comes into that as well. We get code reviews, we refactor our code, we improve our code, and then we ship it live, and then we're going to repeat that. And that is exactly how features are built anywhere out there in any agile team, and that's the methodology that is used anywhere in software engineering, web development. It's the best way of building software and products right now out there. So that's really what we're teaching here, and that kind of gets me into the career we're giving all of our students in the whole job search optimization track, right? The Agile Team Project is really meant to give you a leg up, a big leg up in the competitive, when you're looking for jobs and staying competitive, right? It's like you really have what it takes to be a high impact employee from day one. Now, that's the Agile Team Project. What's happening, kind of like this is a full 8 weeks, what's happening when you get access to a job search optimization track? What we're giving you there is a blueprint, a strategy of how to land the jobs that you want, right? We're not telling you only where to find jobs, how to do your resume, how to optimize your brand as a web developer. We have partners there that help you organize your entire online presence, your entire brand as a web developer, so it actually helps you land a job. But we're also giving you a funnel. We look at the whole interview process or the whole job search process as an optimization process. As a salesperson, we'll look at it and optimize it from the very top of the funnel, the lead generation, all the way down to getting offers and closing those offers. That's our job optimization, a job search optimization track. And we're doing that to give you the strategies that you can repeat over and over and over again. This is all about teaching you how to fish versus giving you fish. We can give you 5 introductions, but we can give you also the strategies that will help you for the rest of your career. And you can use that over and over again. Now, I want to check if I received some questions. Again, if you have any questions, put them in the chat box, left and right, or email me, and I can check them out. Let's check. Do we have anything here? Excuse me. Okay, I think I got a few questions. Oh, people are emailing me. That's awesome. Let me check. Okay, first question. Where are we here? First question I have is about water while some more questions are coming in. I get a lot of emails, so if you have any questions, feel free to put them in the as well. Okay, first question that we have here, my voice is back to, is how long have you been doing this, right? And so that's a really great question, and we actually started doing that with in-person programs where we taught people in a classroom. We taught at Harvard, Carnegie Mellon, Rhode Island School of Design, Brown University, and we really learned what matters to people when they learn how to code. And so we took all that knowledge, packed it into our online learning program, ran hundreds of students through it, kept optimizing it, and what you're seeing today is a result of that learning, the continuous learning of teaching and bringing and explaining complex technical concepts to people. So yeah, we've been doing this for several years, 4 years by now, I think. So we really know what we're doing. Don't want to toot my horn too much, but Harvard wouldn't invite us back if we didn't. Are you teaching algorithms as well? Great question. I mentioned that. There's a full track on that where we start out with simple algorithms and go all the way to search and sorting algorithms to teach you how to actually write advanced Ruby code. Let's see. Why we're different? I always get that question. I think there's several key reasons for that. One of the biggest ones is the depth of the curriculum. I just went through that, right? We're teaching algorithms. We're focusing a lot on fundamentals, how to learn, how to make you an in-demand developer. Those skills, we're teaching you web application development, test-driven development, using the latest tools. And I don't really see any other program doing that. On top of that, we have a full 8 weeks on an agile team project. I don't see other programs doing that, especially not with a senior web developer mentor who will run you through that program the same way they would run you on an existing team. Just seeing, I got some more questions here. Yeah, so why we're different, a few more reasons there. Sonia just asked for more. We also have our mentors, right? And that's a question that I just got here over as well. Is like, hey, our mentors come from places like Shopify, Salesforce, eBay, PayPal. They work at companies like AngelList and Product Hunt, small tech stores and Y Combinator companies. They're VP of engineering. They're senior web developers with years of experience. We don't hire our own graduates. We're just like a few months of experience now mentoring you back. That's what we see happening all over the place. We don't do that. So having that team of mentors actually taking you under the wing is huge. And then we also have our student community, right? And if you see what happens there on our community page, if you're on the intro course, you see there's tons of questions and answers every single day. People are active in our Slack forums, helping each other out. They're meeting up in real world, having different coding groups are already happen in several cities, Firehose coding groups. We're also seeing virtual talks where people come together, teach each other new tools that they'll learn. Our graduates coming back often, giving feedback to people. We record some of those talks as well, and we share them with the entire community. So it's a really tight-knit community. So if I think about why we're different, it's the depth of our curriculum, especially the Agile Team Project. It's the quality of our mentors, and it's also our community, which drives a lot of the value of the Firehose project as well to all of you, because it really doesn't feel like you're coding a lot. Let's see, we got some more questions. Over here. I think that might be pretty much it. Do one more quick check. Awesome. Yeah, if you have any other questions, feel free to email me. In the meantime, just go keep working on the intro course. If you haven't signed up for the intro course, go to firehoseproject.com, sign up, get started, build your portfolio page, write your first few coding challenges, get them reviewed by us, get the thumbs up, get some feedback on how you become a better developer. That all is free, full 2 weeks, helps a lot of people. Hope it helps you too. And then, yeah, maybe we can accept you in a full program and we can get you on track to switch careers and become an in-demand developer and software engineer. I hope this is helpful. Thumbs up, everyone, for coming, and I'll see you next time. Happy coding. Bye now.